Our guest for this evening was supposed to be Pete Hagseth. Pete Hagseth served in Iraq. He was a first lieutenant. He's a first lieutenant in the Army National Guard and executive director of Vets for Freedom. And fortunately, we got a wrong phone number, and we can't reach him at this point. In any case, Hagseth served in Iraq with the 101st Airborne Division from September of 2005 to July of 2006. And he argues that contrary to news media reporting, the tide has turned in Iraq. Hagseth says just 1 year ago, Baghdad was a lawless city with armed death squads controlling the streets. Today, he says, thanks to the surge that began in January, insurgents have lost ground, and tribal sheikhs are working together with coalition Iraqi troops to maintain order. Now, what comes to mind right now, folks, is that it just so happens I was watching the news last night, and what I saw was this was on Fox News. What I saw was they were showing an open market in Baghdad where Iraqis of all walks of life, children, women, men, they were shopping and everything seemed to look good and calm. Well, it isn't exactly the picture as we see it. What is going on there is there are pockets and areas in Iraq that are very heavily guarded and coroned off completely. And to get into these areas, you are completely searched. Now we're talking about specifically this open shopping market. It's one of those old-fashioned open shop. It's like a flea market. You have vegetable stands. Also, they sell everything there. And the interesting thing that was observed was that going in and out of these markets, you have checkpoints where anything or anybody that goes into those markets are completely checked out, and that includes any goods and people, of course. So the question that arises is from what Pete Hagseth has noted in his commentary here are we actually really ahead in Iraq? Are things getting better, or have we just created basically safe havens in different areas of Iraq in order to make it look that way, or to perhaps maybe create more pockets like that? And then the other question that comes to mind, if we are creating pockets like that, obviously we are using a lot of manpower of our own in order to maintain those security safe havens where people get together. Another point to be brought up is that the people that go in and out of these markets are not completely safe, because what is happening now is that these suicide bombers are setting off their explosives as closely as possible to the market that they can get. This has happened several times already. And so the people are not completely they're not completely safe. So going to the market is still a real danger if you can get there safely and get home safely. The safe haven is basically in the market itself. So this is what appears to be going on in Iraq, although that is not the complete view of Pete Hagseth, who says that things are getting better. So I pose the question to the room: are things really getting better, or are we just creating an illusion? With that, let's go to our first caller here. And if you'll excuse me, folks, I'm doing the screening myself, so I have to look up your names. And okay, our first caller is Ambrosine from the United Kingdom, from across the pond. Ambrosine, welcome to the show, and give me your thoughts on Iraq and what's going on there.
Well, good evening to you from the United Kingdom. If we had the media running the world, we would think that, Bush is an idiot. We are losing in Iraq. We're losing in Afghanistan. In fact, we're winning in Iraq. We have won in Iraq. When Saddam was hanged, we won. We won the war. And it's amazing how the media can put slants on everything. We know the media's agenda. Basically, they're anti-Bush. They're extremely anti-American, even the American media. And I have to first of all say a few things. As far as the new constitution of Iraq, what have we done there? Okay, well, we've given so-called freedom to Iraq, but the new constitution isn't so democratic. The new constitution, which you can actually see online, actually states that it's going to be a freedom of religion there. Well, there's no freedom of religion. You can't build a church in Iraq. The Jews that escaped Iraq over the past century aren't allowed to go into Iraq because they're Jews.
Amberstone, let me ask you this, Amberstone. So what you're saying basically is that you believe that these little safe havens that have been created in the city of Baghdad are really illusions in order to show the world that there is some good going on there, that the situation is getting better. Is that your opinion?
No, absolutely not. In fact, the situation is probably, I would say, as perfect as it's going to get, considering it is an Islamic country. And that is, as I said, that is as far as you're going to get as to be perfect. But on the other hand, what is this perfect country that we've made? What is this new constitution? What is this new Iraq, this new Islamic Sharia law run Iraq? What is it? Well, it's a new form of Sharia. It's a modern version.
Well, Amberstone, I have not seen any proof as of yet that Iraq is a Sharia law driven country. No proof whatsoever. I have not seen that. Now, there is absolute proof that there are insurgents that may be driven by Islamic extremism. That I would agree with. But as far as the new Iraqi government goes, I don't see anything. I mean, there is the. I mean, let me before we go on to the next caller, I just want to ask you if I'm pronouncing your name correct. I'm going to call you Anipo. That's easier for me. I mean, where is the where is this coming from that you state that there is Sharia law in the new Iraqi government? Where is this? Do you have a source, or have you heard this? Where is it coming from?
Well, just go to Google and tap in Iraq Constitution. If you actually examine the new Iraqi constitution compared to the old Saddam Hussein-run Iraq, it's virtually similar. The only difference is that they have a few extra things to say. There's going to be freedom of religion, freedom of different cultures, i.e. Shia and Sunni, etc., and that everything is going to be hunky-dory. It's basically the same. Again, Christians aren't allowed freedom of expression in Iraq. Jews aren't allowed to go back to Iraq to claim their birthright, their land that they escaped from. It's exactly the same as before. So what we have here, Boaz,
I beg to differ with you on that. I beg to differ with you that that people cannot express their opinion.
Really?
So far as the government of Iraq goes, people can express their opinions. The reason why people are afraid to express their opinions in Iraq today is because they're